Just me, baby. Just me. Solo. Tyler's fired. So is Perbuza. Eddie Booza. No, what? Why is it like this?
Well, oh God.
Nailed it.
There we go.
There it is.
Welcome, everybody, back to Fourth and Wrong. It is
the worst fucking weekend of my life.
Sadly, it is the penultimate weekend of college football.
It was
you know what that means, Chris? You know what that means?
No.
So it's tough. There are some good games, but tough slate for a lot of teams as well.
Say it, bitch. Say one thing, but
I'm not. Listen. I think the SEC is by far the best conference this year.
Yeah, well, because it is.
Okay. So you can save your little.
No.
Saturday was a good day for you, though. So let's talk. We want to react to the rankings as well. Just dropped here about 15 minutes ago. And then obviously we got to talk about a crazy week last weekend in college football.
Tyler, it was the worst fucking weekend, sports wise, I've had in quite some time.
It started out really, really seemed like it was going to be fantastic.
Bama lost to Purdue in basketball.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Wow.
That was a tough one. Friday, Allie's friends came in town, and they're all 30. So
that sucks. All right. So, yeah, moving on. Go ahead.
They were like, yeah, dude, let's just go out. I know you've been on this new diet, but let's fucking get as much sodium in your body as possible. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, let's do that. So we got real fucked up. Not real fucked up. We drank some drinks and had a blast doing it, Tyler. I will say that. Hold on. Live pod, come hang.
Oh, yeah. Tweet it out. I'll retweet. I gotta see if the old drops are gonna work tonight too, since Perbuza is not with us. Perbuza is sick tonight.
He's down with the sickness, dude.
He is down with the sickness.
So that happened, and then it was like a fun night, but it was like Allie was very pumped. And sorry, we're getting this out of the way so we can get it going. Allie was like really pumped. Her friends were in town, so I was like, "Listen, I got it's an early kick for LSU. Like that's like not. So I got to get over to the stadium at like fucking 9:30. Which is just there's just like so much shit going on, and so I called it a night early. They did not, which was fun. And then I got up early the next morning, went to work, and in the press box, it was like all like kind of shot out of a cannon, Tyler, because I was like. I knew it was going to be a tough day to figure out how to watch South Carolina, cover the LSU thing, and then figure out where to go watch the Bama game. And, the South Carolina thing, I think that one hurt worse than the fucking Bama loss, dude. Because the Bama loss, you're like, all right, if you win out, you're still in. It sucks, but they deserve to lose. They got their ass beat in so many – all the ways that you lose a game, they were like, yeah, we'll do that. And we'll talk about that game for sure. But what South Carolina did was kind of gut-wrenching. And Tyler, the worst part is you could see it fucking happening the whole time.
No, actually the worst part was the Shane Bieber halftime video of him going into the locker room.
My favorite tweet from this was Robert Barron saying, when I stick to my meal plan by lunch, and there's like still so much time left in the day. It just was. It's just so bad. It's just so bad, and they just find new ways to get lower and lower and lower. And
then not that we have to really expect anything different at this point, but the Falcons just go out on Sunday and
Bryce Young. It's not even that they lost. It's that they found a way to do it in overtime. Then they found a way to lose their best receiver, and then Michael Penix is out for the year. And they don't
have their first round pick next year.
No. Do I have two jobs? I think I have more than that. I mean, the Falcons thing pisses me off, and I'm just going to speak freely on this, even though I'm in Louisiana, because it's so like the Saints fucking suck.
So do the Panthers.
So yes, we got swept by the Panthers. But like, in this state, there's like so much like bad football happening with LSU and then them. And they're like fucking geared up for this game against the Falcons. They're like, yeah. There's like nothing to take from us. Like there's nothing to ruin. Like it's just like, no, I just want fuck the Falcons. And they, dude, even if the Falcons lost the rest of the season, we don't have a fucking first round pick.
Right. Hopefully it's a deep draft, top of the second round, be firing all cylinders. Especially with this guy running the helm,
Is it Arthur? And then Arthur Blank's dumbass. This is maybe when it started. I'll be like, they announced last week, they were like, yeah, and the 17th NWSL soccer team. And it's like, fuck off about women's soccer right now.
Yeah.
I will be tuned in for World Cup and the Olympics. But fucking fix the Falcons, Arthur. I don't give a shit about, oh my God. It was unbelievable, man. I was so mad.
Arthur Blank is a great man, but I am definitely on the side of, I don't think the Falcons will ever be any different than they are until he is done and gone. And we don't root for it, Arthur, but when it happens, I think maybe.
Let's get into college football. Where do you want to start? I know we're getting some. We got to talk Georgia, Texas. I don't think there's much to talk about, but we'll talk about it because I know we have a big Georgia contingent as always. So we'll make sure we do that. We'll talk about Bama, Oklahoma. Do you want to start with the rankings and where, or like what do you want to do?
Yeah, well, let's just recap a little bit of last week, just because I want you to feel some more misery.
Thanks, brother.
No, I'm just kidding. No, because I think it'll probably obviously lend into the discussion of the rankings. I mean, obviously the big game we started with a little bit ago was the 33 at halftime, Texas A&M at home. I'm looking at everything. I'm like, in my group chat with my buddies, I'm like, as bad as a loss as Stanford was, we were 17-point favorites on the road at Stanford. These guys are 19.5-point favorites at home. They're down 30-3 at halftime. But if you really dive into like the advanced statistics, people I follow on Twitter, like at halftime, they're like, if South Carolina doesn't start playing like a lot better and stops getting turnover luck, they're in real trouble here, because the score is one thing, but like Texas A&M is playing a lot better than them, outside of Marcel Reed just being a disaster.
They couldn't help. They would not help them. They kept dropping passes. They dropped a couple touchdowns.
Right.
Dude, like, and South Carolina fans were like, man, we should have had a couple interceptions. And it was like, that's just what I knew. It was like, I'm not a lifelong South Carolina fan. I love covering the team and I have a blast doing it. It was so obvious it was coming. And I'll tell you where it started, Tyler. In the first half, you were up 27-3, and that cop had just fucking. Oh, that was the weirdest.
Oh man, that guy
just begging for some sort of fucking interaction, dude. Like that was. Why was he walking up there in the first place?
He could have been an extra in Friday Night Lights, like just that classic like Texas cop.
It's so hard to make people on social media agree on anything. I didn't see a single person that was like, you don't know what that cop was going through. Maybe they had contraband. And it was good to see everyone kind of be unified on that.
Yeah.
But it would like Nick Harbor touchdown. He's reaching for a gun. Like, what the fuck, dude? It was so bizarre. No, but when they hit the ball with 19 seconds left, they hit Brady Hunt in the flat, and it was like, okay, come away with points. Figure out a way to come away with points. And but you also need to go to the end zone. You have all your timeouts left. And instead, they let 6 seconds or 8 seconds inexplicably roll off the clock and then called the timeout. And then I think they ran the ball again. And it was like you've seen how bad your offense is and how bad your team is. You don't want to go get more points? Like you think you're too good for that? Like, and then in the second half, I remember telling one of my friends, I was like, listen, they score, they make it 30-10. And it was like, there's nothing they have shown that means that they can score repeatedly. But like, you need one more score. And I don't care if it's 3 or 7. I feel like 7 puts it away. But if you get 3 more points, Tyler, then you go into the situation where it's like, okay, now they're going to have to figure out a way to like start getting creative. Like, okay, if we're down by 23, do we start going for 2? How are we gonna use our timeouts and manage like the way we approach everything is different. Instead of, hey guys, we're only down 3 scores. We're fine. Just keep doing what we're doing. In the moment they didn't go for it on 4th and 1, and my issue with that is this, dude. You've seen this offense all year. You have seen them get stopped on 4th and short all fucking year. Instead of even attempting a field goal to go win a game, you were like, no, fuck that, dude. We got to go prove a point. No, you don't. Because even if you make it, Tyler, what are the chances you score? Like, your offense is terrible. Get points. Points are at a premium always, but especially for your shit-ass offense. And then, of course, they lost by 1 point. I mean, it's just like, it's so fucking frustrating to watch, dude. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. A lot of down years from some high expectations for players like Lenore Sellers that just hasn't been a good year. Part of me was convinced that at some point Beamer's thinking, I had basically all the momentum going into this year. Like, maybe he sneaks off and takes the Virginia Tech job just randomly, even though it's not as good of a job. But the history with the family, and maybe I get out before I get fired at some point. But now, obviously, Franklin at Virginia Tech, which, certainly I think it's a good hire for them. I think it's telling of how wanted he actually was, that's where he ended up.
Yeah. I mean, I think Beamer, I mean, I don't know if did you see what he said today?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man. I guarantee you this time next year, we'll be sitting here on a Tuesday night talking about where we are in the rankings. It's like, all right, brother, call your shot. I love it. Call your shot.
Is there a realistic chance that he's going to get canned?
No, not now.
Okay.
They're so like.
I mean, this is a crazy. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you run him back because his Sellers could come back, right? And I don't think he's done anything to make him go to pro. So,
if Lenora Sellers goes to an NFL Combine and throws the ball and runs, and does all the stuff in the Underwear Olympics, you know as well as I do, he will end up being a 1st or 2nd round pick.
True, but
I don't think he should be, but someone will take it.
To me, it kind of is like a Jordan Travis coming back for his senior year, but he obviously has higher upside in terms of like, I could get probably a bag my senior year NIL wise, still get paid, chance to improve my stock because I don't think it's going to get lower than it is right now next year. Now you could get injured, I guess, but there's insurance policies you could take out. Maybe Beamer makes a run at it, just tries to make one last run next year, see what happens.
Miami,
make or break.
Here's the thing. I try to explain this to South Carolina fans. Let's wrap up the South Carolina part because I know there's not a ton of South Carolina fans. But you got to go at 9:40, right? No.
I just needed to start recording before then.
Here's the thing with I try to say to South Carolina fans, they're like, why would he go to Miami? And it's like, that's not the point. The point is, you've done nothing to protect this kid for 2 straight years. You've done nothing to like make this kid feel like, yeah, man, we're going to build around you. And then when we get those pieces, we're going to make it work. Beamer's been awful at hiring offensive coordinators every time he's had a chance to. So even if it's not Miami, like his dad said last year, he got offered a $4 million per year thing. Everyone thought that was asinine because we're still somewhat new. That was like this year's wrinkle of NIL, which was like, you remember the first time we covered any NIL shit and it was like, hey, De'Aaron King got $20,000 from College Hunk Movers. And now we're like, Darian Mensah from Tulane got $4 million for 2 years at Duke. There's someone out there like Duke this year.
Biggest thing.
Right. But like, think about how many, there's like all these one-off schools that can do that in addition to the ones that would pay for you to go there. So like, I think they're going to have to try to figure out how to keep him. I don't know if they will. But I mean, this whole thing is such a mess because now you got to, dude, how do you lose that game and then look at it like, hey guys, still a lot to play for. We got the right to go 5-7 if we beat Clemson. Like, I don't think that they won't get up for that game, but like, this was just such a massive moment because of how bad the year has been. You coming off the loss to Bama, where you should have won that game. And you're going into as a 3-touchdown underdog to the number 3 team in America, and you were up by fucking 27. 28-3 was bad, Tyler. 30-3 is objectively more points. It might not sting as bad, but it's objectively more points, and that sucked. What do we want to go to next? Let's talk Georgia.
Yeah, dominant. I mean, obviously, I think we didn't get a chance to record last week, but I definitely was big on. We sent our picks to each other before we thought we were going to be able to record, and I was on Georgia big here. Now, did I expect that kind of dominance? I mean, 25 points is pretty legit. Obviously, I think it says a lot about Georgia, and just as they've progressed offensively over the course of the year, they haven't looked that good on defense. Texas is just. I want to start with the good, I guess. Georgia obviously is peaking at the right time.
They are.
I mean, Kirby's just with the new era that we're in, you start to lose a little bit of that upperclassman depth, that teams like Georgia and Alabama have historically had. So you're forced to play younger players that maybe start of the year aren't ready, but as the year goes on, they're still 5 stars. And this is where recruiting matters. And it seems like things are starting to click for Georgia in a big way.
Which, like, that part, I'm not like frustrated about it, but it's like, oh my God, they are. Yeah, I mean, they're good. And Gunnar Stockton, man, is very good. He's very good. I thought the defense played really well. I thought what was most impressive was what the offense did to a Texas defense that was really good. Now, I will say there was so much good for Georgia. We got another Kirby soundbite.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking just masturbation material for Georgia fans. Like, what did he say? What did he say? Pressure's a privilege? Like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
We got it, guys.
We're going to get hate in the chat, but yeah, that was I made a point. Prabuza actually was team Kirby on that one, but I was like, Kirby's just the master of saying something that like Mike Norvell sounds really meek saying, like,
right.
we're gonna bring exponential pressure day, every single day in practice, and then Kirby says something like
exponential energy.
Yeah. We're gonna have relentless effort in practice. We're gonna give 110%. And Kirby just says the same thing. He's like, you come here, we're just going to smash you in the face. No NIL checks here. Like, we're just going to get physical on your ass. It's like,
ChatGPT, dress this up for me and make it sound fucking badass. Like, it's like he's like, before he gets in front of the press conference, he's like, all right, hey, ChatGPT, how could you make this very generic coach speak sound like a fucking no fear t-shirt? And he's like, yeah, dude, if you can't run with the big dogs, keep your pussy ass bitch on the porch. And you're like, what? Just asked you how the offensive line did against Texas. And he's like, yeah, you're fucking right.
Oh, man. He's like, oh, boy. But I will say, and then we were like, and then, of course, Georgia fans, were like, this is what makes Georgia different right there. That mentality. Now, here's what this is what I was going to say about that is, now, it is a little different there.
Yeah.
So as performative as some of that stuff is, like, this is what Georgia is. I mean, even when they don't bring their best game or even when they don't have their best roster for the year, they're always in the game and then they somehow win the game. Yeah. No matter what, it could be a different story every game. They figure it out. I will say, if you look at the SP Plus rankings for offense, defense, special teams, they're the most well-rounded team in the conference right now.
I don't think Georgia fans feel that way, but I do feel that way.
I think number 1 special teams, number 14 offense, number 15 defense.
I'm just saying I don't think Georgia fans feel that way. I feel like they're like, this defense sucks. And you're like, I will say this, moving on from the Georgia part of it, watching Texas lose is my new favorite thing because their fans are like Georgia fans in I don't want to say before 2017 necessarily, but it kind of is like that where it's like, you guys are very good.
It's probably like 2012 Georgia. Like where they were really good, but they just kept falling short.
But like their fans, that's probably the best way to put it. Their team no, but there's talent everywhere. They had I remember they had a safety that year named, I think it was Sean Williams, like that. He's number 38. And he made a comment about like he had a senior meeting or a players only meeting, and he's like, we gotta be more physical. We're out, man. Like you don't want to fucking line up and face us. And it was like something about like again, like the cliche, like you got to want it more and be more physical, and we're going to out physical everybody and blah, blah, blah. And when they gave up 352 yards rushing in that 2012 SEC championship game to Bama, it was like, that's why you lost. Like, not because of a bad call or what happened at the end. Like, that's why you lost. Texas, to watch Michael Taff, a safety, come in there who's like an All-American type kid, preseason All-SEC, all that kind of shit, for that kid to sit there with a straight face to the cameras and say, we are still a playoff team, and that game wasn't that much of a blowout. It was still close. No part of that, to me, as a competitor, as an athlete, or as a kid caught up with emotion, none of that read to me like any of those things. Like, yeah, of course I'm going to go support my team. Of course I'm going to say that we were good. It read to me the exact same fucking way that all of their fans are about everything that they say. And that is, there's no amount of actual facts, statistics, on-field examples and proof and evidence that will ever get me off of this spot, which is Texas is the best, nana boo-boo. Like, that's just fucking it. It's just like, you don't get it, dude. You don't get it. It's the best program in the country. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. Great helmet. Pretty cool atmosphere. Matthew McConaughey probably needs a new leather jacket, but still pretty badass. Like, but you're not a great football team. If you were, you would find ways to score more than 10 points against top 10 opponents, which he has not done this year. He didn't do it like I think he barely did it last year. You've gotten your ass kicked by this team 3 times and then once the backup quarterback, and you still, at some point, just fucking man up and look in the mirror and say, we have to be better. We're not where we should be, and we're not where we think we are. Like, somebody has to tell you you're doing wrong before you fucking fix it. Like, trust me. Trust me. At some point, you don't hit rock bottom, guys. But at some point, somebody's going to be like, "Hey, man, you're fucking up. You're not doing as well as you think."
21-0 in the fourth quarter. Texas 23 rush yards in this game, which is tough.
Yeah.
Because my buddy, so I told you my buddy coached CJ Baxter in high school.
Yeah.
Which actually, shout out to my buddy. He's now the head coach up here at Marietta and took them to the playoffs this year. Unfortunately, lost to Harrison last weekend, but good first year for him. But he went with some of his staff, because a bunch of them are up at Marietta now, to go watch CJ in Athens.
That's sick.
It's 23 rush yards for Texas as a team.
Yikes.
Tough. The onside kick was obviously fun. Kirby going crazy. Gunnar Stockton,
everyone should be fucking terrified of Kirby right now.
Gunnar Stockton accounts for all 5 touchdowns. Guy's on a little bit of a heater right now.
He's good.
He was a 5-star. I feel like we kind of forget about that.
He was like a 4-star, but he was like, in his junior year, he was a 5-star, the number 1 player in the country. And then it was like, he's just a gritty boy from Raven Gap, dude. That's one thing that Georgia fans will never get, I think, is that, like, they definitely want, like if you disrespect Gunnar Stockton by saying he's like this elite prospect or that he's not an elite prospect or whatever, they will remind you of all of the career passing yards. He broke all the state records. They'll remind you that he was a former elite recruit and top 50 overall player nationally. They'll remind you of all those things that your team offered him or whatever. The moment that all that's done, they're like, no one wanted him. No one wanted Gunnar Stockton. But he drives a Ford F-Tank 50 from 1978. He wears Onward Reserve, brother. That man is 40 years old, and he is very good at football, though.
So at this point, it's obviously Georgia's done with SEC play.
Yeah.
Texas A&M still has to play Texas.
Yeah.
At Texas. But, they got Samford in between, so they've got a nice little break before that. I guess Texas has to host Arkansas before that. But right now, Texas A&M 10-0 in the conference. We've got 2 teams with 1 SEC loss. 1 team, unfortunately, picked up a second SEC loss this past weekend.
Who?
Sorry, it was you. It was 1. It was your first. There's now 3 teams, right?
All right. So here's the thing: Oklahoma's ahead of Bama where they should be. Bama falling to 10. I don't have the biggest problem with it.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I mean, look, I think we kind of should have seen this coming a bit. Here's why.
Yeah.
That Venables defense going up against basically Bama can only pass the ball,
which I knew was coming, which they did very well.
Yeah, that was my bad. I was thinking for the one loss, of course, was out of conference, Chris. That was my bad. But yeah, so Bama ends up losing to Oklahoma at home, which is obviously not great. Now they do have the head-to-head with Georgia, which is nice. Don't play Ole Miss this year. So right now, is it Bama still would be in as long as they beat Auburn?
So here's the interesting part with Bama is that they are most likely going to move up if they beat Auburn, because like they're either out or they're most likely going to be hosting a spot, I would think, because I don't think now if Georgia beats Georgia Tech and finishes 11-1 and doesn't play in the SEC championship game, and Bama goes in at 10-2 and loses to A&M and it's 10-3, they're not going to. They're still going to host a playoff. They probably won't host a playoff spot if Georgia's 11-1. They said tonight on the show that like that's an extra data point in favor of the team that plays in the conference championship weekend. So if Bama goes into the championship game and loses to A&M or Georgia, they're not going to be out of the playoff because of that loss, like at all. If they win against Auburn, they're in. So my biggest thing with Bama is this: Oklahoma has to win out and they're in. Bama,
what happens if A&M loses to Texas?
It doesn't matter. They dropped Texas 17. So I don't, and they said this on the show that the ceiling is already there for Texas and Vanderbilt. Even if Vandy's able to beat Tennessee probably isn't high enough, and Vandy isn't high enough right now to where they're going to jump them. That's why they put Miami ahead of them, because I don't know what Vandy's best win is. They have two. They're getting the Notre Dame treatment.
Missouri, I guess, at home.
Yeah, but like
I mean, you look at their schedule. Charleston Southern, Virginia Tech, who fired their coach midseason, is terrible. Mm-hmm. South Carolina, terrible. Georgia State, terrible. Utah State, terrible. LSU, not terrible, but that's a good win at home. I mean, and again, we're talking Vandy, but I think we've obviously, it's like a sliding scale. We're talking on a different level for Vandy at this point. Then you got the win. Missouri lost against Texas, and then you beat Auburn, and you got Kentucky after the bye. And yeah.
So I think the ceiling is there. And I think that also if Bama beats,
that's not a great look for Vandy. Like as if they had like a chance of getting into the playoff.
They don't.
Their schedule. Yeah.
They don't anymore. But I also think that you look at Notre Dame, and I think Notre Dame has a win over Southern Cal, which is 7 spots ahead of Missouri. And they have they're being gifted what we weren't able to do in 2022, by the way. And I know it was only 4 games or 4 teams, but it's like, but they barely lost these 2 games. And it's like, I guess my biggest question is this: if you're giving that to Notre Dame, fine, I don't give a shit. I knew this was going to happen if they go 10-2 anyway, because it's Notre Dame, and they're never going to keep a 10-win Notre Dame team out of the playoff. We all get it. Miami sliding ahead of Vanderbilt because of the win over Notre Dame. Okay, but you've lost to 2 unranked teams, and you're a spot ahead when you're pretty much like statistically speaking out of being able to play in the ACC championship game. Yeah, like it's almost certainty. So why the fuck would you be up that? Because right now the projection is they're the highest ranked ACC team, even though they're not going to be able to compete for it. So it's like they're begging to find a way to slot them in.
You know what was crazy about that is I didn't realize this until this year. I thought that if you win the conference, you're automatically into the playoff, but that is not the case.
Yeah, it is.
You also have to be ranked high enough.
For the ACC? No, the ACC whoever wins is in.
I don't believe so. Maybe the chat can help me out here. Okay. But I believe that I heard that, like, let's just say, because the ACC, as usual, is absolute chaos because Florida State's a mess. Clemson is also a mess. Miami is decent, but they've also lost twice to unranked teams in the ACC, so they're not even in the mix. But there's a chance that like whoever wins the ACC is like not even going to be ranked.
Yeah.
And I believe that actually keeps them out of the playoff.
I mean, we'll see.
Jeff Williams in the chat
I
says
think that like
Jeff Williams in the chat says here's the same thing. You're getting a little choppy over there.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh no. Hold on. I just opened up a. Hold on. What about now?
Yeah, we're better.
Okay.
So, but yeah. So, anyways, that's just, it's
see
just
that?
so bad. They don't deserve anybody. Not
Pretty
a little
sick.
bad.
Yeah, people are doing that now.
Obviously the other, yeah. Okay, so King Kirby in the chat says Duke was in the running for the ACC championship with a bunch of conference losses. They wouldn't have made the playoffs if they won the ACC. So yeah, maybe I don't know. At this
I don't
point,
know, and I don't think it's going to matter either way. Like I don't think they're going to give. Like, there's so many things would have to happen for Miami to get in as a second team. BYU is probably more in the talk about that than Miami because they're already 11th for one. I think the big thing for me is
God, I hate everything about
BYU.
Florida State. I look at the ACC at how terrible it is, and I looked at we went 2-10 in this conference last year, and we have. Let's count it up here. We did pick up our second ACC win of the year this weekend. Unfortunately, the team that we played doesn't have a head coach, so I don't know that I'd like to count that. But Mike Norvell still coaching for his job.
How's that possible?
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, Chris. I just sit here in a state of pain.
What's that meme where it's like, you should smile more? It's like nothing in my life to smile about. Fuck yeah, dude.
I got some things to smile about, but just not.
That's true. You got a lot to smile about, dude. Okay, let's try to knock this out let's try to get out of here by 10 your time.
All right.
I think I can grab for you, but hold on. I do want to say one thing about the Bama thing, and this is what I think is stupid. And by the way, announcement: we're doing another show this week. We got 2 shows coming. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
we don't have to preview the whole week.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll save our juices for the big fucking cupcake week, brother. I want to close with this, and we like I said, let's do 2 more minutes. But like, I think the thing with Bama, I don't want to hear anything about Bama fans crying if they go 9-3 and getting in. If that happens, if they go 9-3, they deserve to be out, and they have cost themselves the chance of getting in because of the early season loss to Florida State. You gave yourself enough of a leeway after beating all those ranked teams, and if you would have lost to Auburn instead of Oklahoma, then you still have the argument, and you're fine. It was a 2-point loss. They had 3 turnovers. They almost doubled up Oklahoma in yardage. It was the biggest yardage differential in a loss they've had in 30 years. They were the best team in the SEC in turnover margin. Oklahoma was one of the worst, and Mateer was one of the worst quarterbacks at that. They lost a turnover battle 3-0.
Yeah,
Ty had 2 turnovers. They had a pick 6. And it was like you had both fumbles that you lost were inside your own 30-yard line. Like, you did everything to lose this game. You can't win. You cannot win like that a lot.
Dude, did I read this right? 406 total yards to 212.
Yep.
That's insane. 212 total yards and you win a game 23-21 at Bama.
Bama's defense was really good on Saturday. It's been good all year, but it was really, except for game 1, it was really good on Saturday, and it did enough to win. And
didn't they set the current winning streak? Like it was the longest. They said it last week, and then that's over.
You know who the longest is now?
Is it Indiana?
So the thing with Bama is this: I don't give a shit. Like, you have to go beat Auburn, and that's bottom line. I will tell you the game's in 2 weeks. I said the same thing to Allie, who's already been an asshole about this whole thing. She does the same thing she did last year. Don't let a 5-win Auburn team come in here and ruin Alabama's chance at a playoff. And it's like, I got it. Auburn
Oh,
fans
man.
just very ecstatic right now about potentially ruining the season, as they should be. I get it. Here's the thing: if you're Bama, because I know that there's like fans that are like, "Oh, great, we got to go night game in Jordan Hare." So let me just instill some confidence, so you remind you, and hopefully the players are listening too, Tyler. Channel my
Yeah.
courage for a second. Auburn sucks. They've sucked all fucking year. They lost to Kentucky 10-3 at home.
You think that matters?
They're not a good football team. Alabama's a better football team. Yes,
Sure.
anything can happen in the Iron Bowl. Absolutely. There have been much better Bama teams that
I'll
have
never
gone
forget
in.
2023, a little miracle in the corner of the end zone. Props Bama right into the playoffs, just ahead of one measly little Florida State, limping in
That win
undefeated.
against number one Georgia a week later was what did it. But yes. But then and in 2021, miracle to keep them in the playoff hunt after Bryce Young's thing in 4 overtimes. There have been much better Bama teams that have gone there and lost or come close to losing. Here's the thing. You're better than Auburn. Go stomp them out early and fucking go home and get ready for Atlanta. It's very simple. Like, this is not – do not start talking about Juju. I think Mercury is in Gatorade till that day. But, like, figure it out. You're a much better team. You have been all season. Don't go there and fuck around. It's very simple. It's very simple, Tyler. Like, go there and beat them. Do not buy into all the bullshit. They will fucking roll over and die if you stomp them out in the first half. So just go do that.
I was laughing to myself slightly. You'd be happy to get in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, but they were doing like the projected bracket, and I was like, how bad does that suck that like Oregon somehow their only loss is to Indiana, the number 2 team in the country. Now I look at their schedule, buddy. That is not a good schedule.
No,
dude.
This is why I don't give a shit about Cupcake Week, dude.
Let me just read this off to you, dude. Especially because Penn State was not good this year. Montana State, Oklahoma State was the worst FBS team in the country this year. Northwestern on the road, Oregon State, one of the worst FBS teams in the country.
Yeah,
this was their tough one. I remember because was that the day that Dan Lanning looked like he like blew
Penn
6
State.
lines before he went on TV after the game. Sneak by a
restaurant,
Penn State team. Then they get a bye. They go home and they lose to Indiana, and then it's been Rutgers, Wisconsin, Iowa was a good win, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Minnesota. And then Minnesota.
You know what was wild about that though? This is why I don't believe in the SEC bias for a number of reasons, but also this. I'm starting to believe in more of a brand bias, if anything, because Oregon moved up a spot after beating Iowa.
Well, I mean, I will say they're like that's why I think it would be unlucky for Bama because they're like being held down at number 7. Like that's a damn good team to be at the 7 spot. But I mean, I don't think you can argue
to be at 7.
I don't think you can argue putting them behind because what the other 1-loss teams are Georgia, Texas Tech, Ole Miss. Or is Ole Miss
I think that Bama's resume is better than Texas Tech's. It's better than Oregon's. It's better than it's pretty. Dude, they had 4 ranked wins in a row. They just played their 5th ranked opponent in 7 games. By the way, have you seen the schedule for Bama with the teams they're playing the week before? Can I read you this?
Please do.
I will. I was going to even if you fucking said I couldn't.
I knew you were.
This has been a good show, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Clint Lamb retweeted this earlier, and it's a very good point. Okay.
Because it makes Bama look better.
Yes, that is exactly why.
All right. So who did Florida State play the week before they played Bama?
They were off.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's good for you.
Okay, hold on.
That seemed to help Florida State significantly, I would say, in that game.
Yeah, definitely did. Okay. I'm pulling it up. Okay.
Louisiana Monroe.
Alabama opponents scheduled for the week before they played Bama this year. FSU off, obviously. Louisiana Monroe played St. Francis. Whatever. Wisconsin, Middle Tennessee State. Georgia off. Bama was also off, but Georgia off. Vandy, Utah State. Mizzou, off. Tennessee, Arkansas. South Carolina had Oklahoma at home. LSU was off. Oklahoma was off. Auburn is off and then has Mercer. So you have 1, 2.
Yeah, but you're confident in that game.
5 of your 12 games, the teams have had an off week before they've played you. Only two have played an FBS opponent before they've played Bama. Only 2, Tyler, all year. So, listen, again, if you don't beat Auburn, you don't deserve to be in. But like, Jesus fucking.
And the schedule, look, I mean, the sick irony in all this, Chris, is that really what's holding Bama back is how bad Florida State is.
Yeah. Are we going next year? By the way, we actually have to go next year.
Yeah, that'd be real fun. Yeah,
I was thinking I should do it for the bachelor party, and then we could tell Booza that we're not going, and then just fucking go without him. You know what I mean?
I turn 40 next year.
Same.
That's right. All right. Well, with
we
that,
do something crazy for our 40th birthdays. Like you gain a bunch of weight and I lose it. You know, that'd be sick.
I can't go back, Chris.
I'm
down to the lowest I've been since I was in college. Before then, maybe.
That's way
not before that. I was like 160 pounds when I graduated high school.
I haven't been 160 pounds since 9th grade. I was always like a bigger dude, but like either way. Anyway,
look at that. I'm hoping he's thinking like, yeah, we look younger than that.
He has never said anything nice to anyone ever on social media. Unless it's like Kirby Smart not talking to him. He's a great follow, by the way.
I mean, he even said this kind of a mean way.
Everything he says is like that. You'll be like, "Oh man, I got this morning and went for a walk. It was great." And it's like, "You didn't fucking run, you pussy." And you're like, "Okay, I don't know you."
Losing weight is for losers.
Yeah, but he knowing Athens Steve, and I love him to death, he would have at least one of those words be spelled with 2 O's for sure.
Love it.
Yeah, that's what he's a fantastic follow on Twitter. All right, let's get out of here and come back Thursday.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good shit tonight, dude.
I had a good time as well. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys on Thursday. See you.
Bye.